It's 16 hours.
Anh Nam biết xe ra đó. Good afternoon, Sarah.
Good afternoon.
Sarah, with respect, how are you, Sarah?
Fine.
With respect, our respects to you and wish you good health and happiness. So it's now 4 p.m. and it's time for us to begin our class. So we would like to invite Sarah to start our lessons.
Okay. So let's start by paying homage to the Buddha. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today, we will learn this paragraph. Radha eka ejite sandadunam beyogi agati dasa bochana kama wecha banatanja dangarakan sambarana sanya hoti tudiyaja. Before studying detail of this sentence, so we need to recall the usage of the dative case. So Jadoti Vivedi at the very beginning, so we already introduced. So dative or Jadoti Vivedi or for case also like a, the Benjamin Vivedi in connection with root or in connection with nouns, in connection with prefix, and in connection with the particles, nibada. So usage of Jadoti Vivedi or dative can be found there. So that is why here, in this paragraph is about the root. So Radha Eka Ejidisen. So you see Daduna Beyoge. So in connection with the or in the usage of root, rat, and the ik. So final vowel or those who are just for pronunciation or Radha or Eka. So at that time, the other sentences like yasa akadidasa bochana gamawicha banatan, that one we will skip for a while. So simply can be understood, sambarana sanya hodi. That means charoti vibedi will be applied. Charoti vibedi will be applied. And also the dudiya vibedi also two can be. So that means now simply can be understood in connection with the root rad, rada, and the eka. The usage of dative case will be found. The usage of jadoti vibedi will be found. So briefly can be understood that. But here, this explanation yet yasa akati dasa bochana gamma wecha banata. That one is how to say a little bit complicated to understand. So that doesn't simply we need to understand like a so root previous root good with the jadoti vibedi or something like that. Here also simply can be understood root rat and then root ik. So they will have the usage of a noun form. Maybe they are especially object. Their object will be with the jadoti vibed. So for case. So in meaning, so the word should be understood, maybe can be considered as the object of those root rada and the eka, but with the genet, so for case, that is why here dudiya ja, with the accusative case also, second case as well. So in this way can be, understood. So both can be. Okay, so now, okay, so the meaning of root rod is actually root rod rarely used alone. We don't find. So actually, so one is preface root rod, and then second one about preface root rod. Two what we can find. So preface root rod mean so to please or to okay, to propitiate, to please or to propitiate. Here we already. But so root ik also will be root ik allow me to see. To see or to inquire. Okay, in the example will be so with the but at that time, about prefix root ik. So at that time, the meaning is to seek or to expect. So in this way can be, understood. Okay, so now with the root prefix root ra to please or to propitiate. And then about prefix root ra is to offend. To offend against. To offend against, to make mistake against somebody on somebody like that. So at the time here, the explanation here we already. So when root right to please or to propitiate, that means with the R prefix actually. So that example can be found that here. So aradohan renyo. Okay, this line is for this one. So aradohan renyo. I am pleasing the king. So aradohan renyo. Aradohan rajan. Here, renyo, you see. In this case, renyo. Renyo is with the dative, but rajana is with the accusative case. Rajana is with the accusative case. This one is fourth case, singular, but this one is a second case. Rajan. 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 Okay, so Rajan and the and Rajanan. And this is to show the recipient who received our placement. So I am pleasing the king. So aradohan. Aradohan means aradohan. So aradohan. So actually that is arado, in this way should be divided. Renyo, arado. So arado is actually maybe noun form of the above. So previous root rad, noun from root rad. But so using essay here. So using as a predicate or verb form, that is why I am pleasing. So arado ho me like that. Also verb to be omitted. I am pleasing. So renew with the fourth case or to with the rajasa renew. So rajasa renew the king. But this one is object of the displeasing. So who received our his placement? I am pleasing the king in this way. So the both case can be renewed with the fourth case and Rajana with the second case here we already explained. Okay. So that is to show the recipient or the propitiation. Propitiation. So with the both case, fourth case or second case. So, and then, okay, later I will explain this skip one. Yes, akati dasa bochene gamma wecha banatenja. So that one later we will explain. Now, a second example for the above brief is root rad. That is offend against or plot against. Offend against or plot against. So example for that one is here. Okay, so okay, so here above brief is root rad mean to offend against. And brief is root rad actually we can find as a complete verb form brief is root rad, but mostly with the seven conjunctive sign A and the D as a complete verb, aradedi. Aradedi also pleases or gladdens and also propitiate. So in this way can be, as a main verb. So aradedi, seven conjugated sign. You see aradedi. But with the above replace root rad. So at that time, essay verb form is above preface root rad. But conjugational sign is hot conjugational sign ya. And the D. So at that time, daya become the jaja, that is why essay verb form. Above rejected. So this R becomes short before the double consonant about rejected. So offense. Clause again offense in this way. So that is the meaning also different. Conjugation and sign also different. Okay, that is past point we need to understand. And then now here kayane ayane abarijami here. So ayanen abarijami and aye abarijami. Abarijati abarijami. So kayanen kayahan. So it should be divided k ahan. Okay, the same one. Kayahan, gain. So this naked drop, and then it become the ya, become the as a Sandy rule. So kayahan, ayana, about jami. So here, so gain is what kind of offense? So about jami, have I committed against or committed against the noble ones, ayana, or venerable ones like that. So the same meaning. So here, in this example also you see, ARN is with the dative for case, but AE is with the accusative case. So ARN, AE, dative ARN. So here also dative AR, like that. Okay, so 4 cases. And accusative case, that is just to show, so with the bubble offense committed. So simply can be understood like that. So, but at the time, so in this paragraph, 2 root, the first one is rad, the second one is ik. But root rad also 2 parts with the first one is briefest root rad, and the second one is about briefest root rad. So different prefix, different conjugation sign, different meaning, but the same usage. The same usage. They are object with the dative as well as with the accusative case can be found there. Okay. So with the accusative case can be found there. So like here, renewal with the dative, but Rajana with the accusative case, second case. Here also ARN with the dative plural, but AE with the accusative plural. Even though, different prefix, different conjugation sign, different meaning, but the dative case is the same use with them. So, and then, okay, root ik is for next one. So we will explain that one. But here, one point we need to, okay, so now the meaning of that paragraph is here. So when root, rat, duplices, so ik are used, right? So yasa akati tasa bochanan. Okay. So in the Bayoge are used to, but so yasa akati tasa bochanan. So that is one part. So akatita mean not mentioned, not yet mentioned, or not yet speaking, not yet spoken. Instead of so okay. No, so I need to change that one. So with the use of root ik and root rat and root ik. But to ask about something, yasa akatidasa bochana. Yasa akatidasa bochana. So one who is not speaking. So yasa akatidasa bochana. Akatidasa me. Not not speaking. Okay. And the Bochanan. So Bochanan, actually just that one. And also that is the meaning of this paragraph. So Bochanan is later we will explain. Yes, akti dasa. So to whom? Maybe, yeah. Asking to one who is not speaking. So that is one point. Gamma which are Bennett 10. So to explain, gamma, so gamma mean action. Wikia Bennett is explaining. Explaining. Wikia Bennett. This atta is to Wikia Bennett, Wikia be the Akia be the. So explaining or asking the action actually. Asking the action something we commit or something like that. So that is a little bit complicated here to understand. So this word can be understood. So gamma, one word, and then wikia bana, and the atom. Atom means for the sake, just to ask the action. Wikia bedi. So it's revealing. So revealing, not explaining. To make. To reveal an action. In this way can be understood. So actually that one is not directly connected with the example. So in the one explanation, actually that one is just connected with the background and story of this example, not with the usage of this root. So simple to understand is here the so in connection with the root rod, so their object word or a person will be with the dative as well as will be with the accusate like a Renyo or Rajane or Ayanan or Ayi, just that both can be. But because of this explanation, because of these two words, that one is quite difficult to understand, make us understand it complicated. So actually that one is connected with the story. So here in this example, so Aradohan Renyo, Aradohan Rajane, is just a chaplain Brahmin, and the Renyo and the king. So two persons in this story. So the king, so last night, so he saw the dream. He saw the dream. So maybe because of that dream, he woke up early. So at that time, a good or bad result of that dream, he wants to know. So that is why he wants to ask the Brahmin chaplain Brahmin. So he called him that Brahmin. Maybe that time is maybe winter season, too cold. So the king also woke up early. Immediately after he wake up, so he called urgently the chaplain Brahmin, but chaplain Brahmin so cannot come immediately because too cold. That is why he wake up and he make himself warm, so near the fire oven. So that is why he need to spend some other time, maybe 10 minutes or so half an hour, something like that. So that is why he was late to be present in front of the king. So the king was angry with him. So that is why when the chaplain, so Brahmin chaplain was at the presence of the king, but he noticed the king was angry with him. So at that time, he said this speech, Aradohan Renyo, Aradohan Rajan, and something like that. So at that time, in that background story, so Aradohan Renyo, so I apologize or I appropriate, so propitiate the king like that. So that means propitiate me, releasing anger of the king. So saying, maybe requesting or apologizing, sorry, I was late. So please forgive me or something like that. That is Aradohan Renyo, Aradohan Rajane in this. At that time, because so the king was angry with that Brahmin chaplain. That is why even though the Brahmin chaplain was in front of the king didn't say anything. That is why here Agati Dasa. So Agati Dasa Bochanami asking the king who was not speaking. So at that time, because of anger. So that is why here the king will be object of the verb araditi, but with the dative in this way can be understood. That is why this statement is not directly connected with the usage, just connected with the example. And also that is why here Akridasa Bochane. So asking the king who was not saying. And also at that time, even the Kamawicha Banatan, so to reveal his commitment, the Kayahan Ayana Abarijami. So in the next example, maybe these two lines, Kayahan Ayana Abarijami. So here, Ayana is maybe to the Lord, to the Your Majesty, or something like that, instead of saying the noble ones. To the venerable one or to the master, or maybe that is this Ayana referring to the king actually. Ayana. But even though, so according to that story, in this way can be understood. So I propitiate the king, Aradohan Renyo, Aradohan Rajane. So Gayahan Ayana Abarijami. What kind of offense have I committed to the Lord, to the Master, to your Majesty, or something like that? So that is in the first example, the king was not saying, that is asking to the king. That is, before that here, Akridasa Bochana, asking the one who is not speaking. And also, at that time, so in the early morning, the king called him. So he also went there, but the king didn't say anything. So that is what kind of offense. So he committed to the king. He doesn't know that is to reveal his wrong action to the king. So that is the next statement is Kayahan Ayana Aparijami. So what kind of offense, what kind of mistake have I committed to the Lord, to the Master, or to your Majesty? So in this way, that is why these two statements, Akati Dasa Bochane and the Kamawicha Banatan, is not connected with the usage, just connected with the background story of these example. Actually, that is why it is not important to understand. Just for your knowledge, I explain. So here, simply to understand the usage in connection with the root rad or root ik. Their object wa can be found with the dative, as well as because their object can be found with the accusative case to the already also. Just that actually. Okay, now let's move to the next. So next one is here Gayahan Ayan Aradohan Renyo Aradohan Rajanan Gayahan Ayan Abadijami Gayahan Aye Abadijami. So this example we have already explained. So now for the so Jekko Janasa Dasanaya Danwiya Minye. Jekon Janasa Dasanaya Dan Wiya Minye. The one example. And the Ayasamato Uba Late Terasa Uba Sambra Biko Uba De So. So Ayasamandan Wa. So actually Jekon Janasa Dasanaya. Jekon Janasa Dasanaya. This example also not directly connected with the root ik. Okay, root ik. But the meaning of this example is a Jekon Janasa Dasanaya Dan we are Minye here. We already provided. So Jekon Janasa Dasanaya and I Jekon for people to see. Here also dative Janasa is used to indicate for whom the site is intended. Okay, the meaning of this example completely is Jekon Janasa Dasanaya. So yeah, that example is not included in the Padaruba Seti, only in Gijayana. So Jekon Janasa Dasanaya. So andink, minye mi andink. So we are minye. Jekon dan we are minye. It is, I think it is like a nine. Janasa for people. So Dasanaya to see. So dan we are minye. Dan we are minye. In this case. So here, I for people. I for people. Or sight. Sight for people. So intended, the sight is to see. So maybe this dasana is synonymous to the root ik to see. So that is why Jekon Janasa dasanaya to see, but not directly connected with the usage. So that data is not dasanaya to see. So that is why, in the Padaruba Seti, that example is not included. So this is Padaruba Seti. Okay, sorry. In the Badaruba City, here you see, Ara, what is it? Ara Domi Renyo, above Rigidi. So that is another one. So, here you see, Kaya Han Eana, above Jami, above Jami. After that, so Ayasama do Uba Terasa, Uba Samra Beko, Uba de so Ayasmandawa. The other example is a round example for that context. So that is one. Skip in the Padaruba City. Okay. So now let's move to the next example. So root ik is to see. To see. But with the above prefix, root ik is to seek. To seek. To expect. Expectation to expect. So at that time also seeking what? Seeking what? So here, Ayasama do Upale Terasa Ubasambra Biko Ubade so expectation from, seeking something from. So expect something from somebody in this way. But this from somebody look like the fake case ablative Benjamin with the but just with the dative. is from somebody with maybe with the dative. Okay. So that from somebody in this way. Seeking somebody. Here also, you see, in this example. So ayasama do ubale tirasa ubasambra beko ubadeso. So ubadeso means ubadesa. Ubadesa. That one is connected here. Abeko. Abeko is noun form of the above. So here, as a complete verb form. Above prefix root ik and sign up and the D. So we can find abikadi. Abikadi means six or aspects. Six or eight. So now form of that one is here. Uba sambara biko. Or uba sambaran abiko. Uba desa who is seeking. Uba sambara higher ordination. Ayasama do ubale terasa from the Venerable ubali. Edali ubali. From the Venerable era ubali in this way. So here also with the accusative case, ayasamandan ubale. Ayasamandan ubale teran with the accusative dudia vibhati also can be found that. With the dudia vibhati also. Okay. So now here ayasama do ubale terasa in connection with the abiko. Abiko is a noun form of the abikati. So in connection with that, a person is with the dative, the ablative meaning. Ayasama do ubali terasa. From the ubali tera, banure ubali. Ubasambra biko. Ubasambra abiko. Ubadesa. Banure ubadesa is pattern or seeking the higher ordination from the banure ubali. In this it can be. And that is here. Illustrating the use of both dative ayasama do and the accusative case ayasamandan. So for the person being approached, so he is seeking a higher ordination from the Venerable Ubali. That is, he approached to the Venerable Ubali. So being approached, a person for the person being approached. So expected person. So from whom in this way can be understood. So that is here generally we can understand that in connection with the root rad. But that root rad is two preface, preface root rad, above preface root rad in this way here. Preface root rad and the above preface root rad. Both of them are used together with the dative case, Charuti Vibhati, as well as the accusative case. And next, so ru'ik. Ru'ik is to see original meaning, but here just with the above preface ru'ik we find in the example. So at the time to seek, not to see, to seek. So at that time, is object or maybe a person who is approached with the dative as well as the accusative case, a person. He expects something from somebody. So okay, maybe in the text, abikati we can find in the so abikati. Chula nedesa bidakopatesa. Maybe just only abikati Karisu abekadi sarada hodawa. Okay, let me. Maybe abekatmano as a present participle for. I remember. Abekatmano. Sameke abekatmano. So sameki bekama sameke abekatmano. No. How do you say that one? Okay, in this example. Say kabara binyadi hedonja abekamano binya bayando so bagawa. Now hedonja. Okay. So when it is provided a person, that person will be with the all this it just saying abekamano, you see. So this this it just saying abekamano sata. So the teacher considering their disposition or disposition from them, their disposition in this way also with the maybe there's a dative or genitive. So abekamano. We so there. I don't know. We so there. Abekatmano. So the abekadi. This it just say abekatmano. Okay. Yeah, head. Uba samra beko uba de. So only that example we find directly connected with that. The others are, only expecting harmony. Yeah. So instead of a person, not expecting a person directly. Maybe that uba samra beko. Okay, we will find directly that example. How many times can be found that? Upa Bikov. So in this connection, you see, so Etanamasa Ayasamado Uba Sambara Biko. In this way also can be found there. And then next one also the same structure. Etanamasa Uba Sambara Biko and so on. Ayasamado Uba Sambara Biko. And also Etanamasa Ayasamado. So only with the connection with the Sachi Uba Sambara Biko. That apical with the abicadi bab, so rarely found only in this construction ubasambra beko. So in this way can be found. Okay, that is just for your knowledge. So now generally can be understood here. So in connection with the root rod, but ab previous root rod and above previous root rod. So usage of the dative like that can be found, but that one is not always. So accusative case also. And then for the root ik, even though root ik in the main text, so root ik, root rad, but with the prefix, root ik also with the above prefix. So maybe ubikadi, uba and the ikadi also we have. Ubikadi. Even though in the example not provided. ubekati. So ubekati, that is Jadaka, Mijima. Cha Gihasida ubekati Weridaba Mij. Also not far, only that one. Okay, so Budojana ubekati. Okay. So that is why for the ik is only Ubasambara big core construction can be found usage of the dative, like Ayasamado, Ubasambara big core, and so on. Okay, now let's move to the next part. So next part is Bicha Suna Anubadi Kinana Boba Kadri Suno Desa Bicha Yogi Yasa Kamuno Bobasa Yogada So Sambrana Sanyo Hoti. Okay. So here Baja Suna. So Baja Suna is actually should be understood with the verb using Baja Suna. The one is so Badi prefix root su, and then a prefix root su. Both of them are the same meaning, to respond or to assent. To respond or to assent. So this na Baja Suna, that one is how to say base form, Baba base form. So Baba base form. We have the Baja Suna di, so you see. Baja Suna di. So Badisunadi, Asunadi as a verb form we will find. Badisunadi, Asunadi. Badi prefix root su or A prefix root su. Their meaning is the same, to respond, to reply, to assent. So at the time, a person who received their response or their assessment, so will be with the dative. Okay, will be with the dative. So the person who was the originally agent Boba Kadri, but later, so that means in the construction, so it can be understood 2 lines. Okay, 2 lines. So now to understand this sentence, firstly, so the one who speaks and listener, 2 person, speaker and listener. So like in the Dhamma talk. So the Buddha is expounder. Those monks are listener to the Buddha. So at the time, so the Buddha called them bhikkhu or monks like that. At that time, those monks are also respond to the Blessed One, Bande. In this way too, so that is why, in the fast here, so Bhagawa, so the Blessed One is formally speaker. So Bhagawa, so Amandesi Bhikkhawati in this way. So Bhagawa is a speaker, Boba Gadi, formally agent, formally speaker, subject. But later, so the Buddha called those monks Bhikkhu. So those monks are also, oh Bandi or Venerable, oh the Lord, they respond. That means we are ready to listen your Dhamma talk like that. So at the time, so the Buddha is now become a person who received their response, like a dative case one. In the first statement, the Buddha is speaker, Boba Gattari. In the second statement, the Buddha is receiver, recipient of their response. So that is why here, Yasa Kamu no Bobasa Yogada. So formally, that one is a person, but now, so Yasa Kamu no. So formally the action of the agent for that action, but now he became the dative. So the recipient, that one is samparana. Two action, two lines. So here the past example. The past example is Bhagawa Bhikkhu Ita Davoja. Bhagawa Bhikkhu Ita Davoja. So this line is not the right example for that one. Just to understand the Boba category. Boba category. Former agent. So Bhagawa is former agent. Former category. So the Blessed One address this to those monks. So that is the first stage. Next example is the Bhikkhu Bhagavato Bijja So. So now Bijja So is example for this one. Padi Bripis Rusu Bijja So. So the meaning of this line is the Bhikkhu Bhagavato Bijja So. Sorry, I don't translate it. Yeah, those monks respond to the Blessed One. Respond to the Blessed One. The meaning of Bijja also is respond. Okay. Respond to the Blessed One. Assent or agree to the Blessed One. The meaning of this line. So at that time, in the former example sentence, Bhagawa is Bobakatri subject. But in the second example, when those monks respond to the Blessed One at the time, Bhagawa will become with the dative. So that is why here, this explanation. So Bhikkhu di agatita kamma, etan di gatita kamma. That one is just explaining about this sentence. So here, Bhikkhu and the eight and two object. So Katita Gamma, Akatita Gamma is not made. Not made. Katita Ita is made so direct object. Bhikkhu is an indirect object. In this way can be understood. Bhikkhu di Agatita Gamma, Itandi Katita Gamma. So in these two objects. But that is just grammatical term. So, yasa kamu no bobasa yogada so bhagawa. So, in this line, yasa kamu no bobasa yogada. So, formally, yasa kamu no bobasa yogada so bhagawa. So, formally, the action of the actor of the agent of that action is so bhagawa, the blessed one. Your growth is sagada di soda wachinina kadu senyo. At that time, that one is just called the category or agent. Even yasa kamuno bubada yoga saso sambrana senyo hodi. In the former example, Bhagawa is subject, but in the second example, later example, that Bhagawa became with the dative. That one is sambrana. With the dative in this way can be. That is just explained by the Kijayana, but simply here can be understood. In this example, so for example, the Bati Brifik Ru Su. Su mean how to say to respond. Okay, so as above from here, Bati and the conjugal sign is na and the ti. So Bati Su na ti. That is present tense. But in this example, actually, Bati Brifis Ru is Su. But Boston, not Boston, plural O, because subject is here. You see, subject is the Bhikkhu, not Boston, plural, and the O. So before the sa, so sa is inserted. Before the root, so because of past tense, a is inserted. So because of that, it become ya, daya become the jaja. This will also become the o. So that is one here. It become ya, and daya become jaja, and also sa become the double, and the dates u become wodi. So that is one. Bija, so in this way. That is, this one is present tense. This one is past tense, that but plural. Badisu nandi. So that one will be two object. Two object. They be cool. They respond to the blessed one. They respond to the blessed one. So how they respond, how they agree, how they respond. Yes, Bandi or Ama Bandi. Commonly, so in the Pali Canon with that one. So sentence structure like this, you can see. What's example sentence? Debeku Bhagavado Bija so Bija so. Oh, you see? Yeah. This one is subject. A1 Bandi Ti Ko Saribuddha Maugalana Bhagavado Bija so. So this one is object. This one is object. Saribuddha and Maugalana are subject. But so Bhagavado is receiver of that. So respond. So Saribuddha and Maugalana replying to the blessed one as yes, Banrivasa. But in the example, object is omitted. Such a object phrase is omitted. That is a little bit complicated. So here the point I want you to understand is this Vichasuna connected with that one. So sentence structure will be, subject and also maybe object. That object is speech. And also the other one, so dative. That one is a person who received, dative person. So with that one, after that, such a bijasunadi, such a sentence structure should be understood. Person with the dative, and then bidi sunadi. In this way, sentence structure can be, understood. That is sentence pattern. So that line, I will copy that sentence. So like this. So A1 Band-Aid, that is, object with this speech. And the Bhagavado is a person with the dative. And Bijas also is Badisuna. The subject is Saribuddha Maugalana. So in this, because of spoken style, actually, Saribuddha Maugalana, Bhagavado, A1 Band-Aid, Bijas also. What order can be changed? So at that time, such a person who received their response will be with the dative. That is simple to understand. But here, explanation is quite complicated. So that is Gajana explanation. So former sentence or later sentence, or former agent or later, or something like that. And the Katita Gamma or Akita Gamma, the any other or unnecessary things for this case are also included. That is why a little bit complicated to understand. But simply, like so these root, so here Bijasuna also, Badisuna also, a kind of verb connected with the, speaking, connected with the speaking or saying something. So yeah, respond or reply also a kind of the speaking. When we say something at that time, speech will be there, and listener will be there. Here, listener. So nobody sunadi mean they respond, mean they reply, they say something. Here, Saribuddha Maulana says something. Something is here, yes, Panarivasa. That is object. And so here, listener is the blessed one with the dated Bhagavato. In this way can be, understood. So to Asunandi. Next part also the same. This Asunandi. Here example is Asunandi Bodhasa Bhikkhu. Also the same Bhikkhu, Bodhasa Asunandi. The same. So Bhikkhu, monks respond to the Blessed One. Monk respond to the Blessed One. That Asunandi also abbreviate root su and the conjugation surface na and the di. So we have the asunadi. That is present tense response. But so in the text, instead of the present form, just past tense, we can find associate, so like a abbreviate root su and the past tense that past tense singular e. So before that, sa is inserted. So at that time, here also the same as this process, sa become the double. Sa become the double, and also u become the o. So that is one. But becomes short. Associate. Associate. And the association can be found. Okay, let's find out. The same structure actually. It's just associate or associate. So here, associate called within your Brahmano are not. So associate called Bhagawa Udokala Satan. Or this one is just past tense, not the response. Connect to it. Associate. Asunandi Bodhasa Bhikkhu. Associate called Inyadra Bhikkhu. This here you see this sentence structure is better for this one. So here, Inyadaro Bindajari called Bhikkhu, that is subject. And also Desan Purisanan Iman Kathasan Laban. So Iman, so this one also maybe just heart, not connected with the dative. Maybe quite rare with the asu, not this one, sorry. Okay. Maybe based on the structure in Yadrobena Jariko. Also just heart. So instead of respond, asu nandi. Asosiko in Yadrobena Jariko, asosiko ayasama upanando. So not found. Asosiko ayasama desan bhikkhu na iman katha sanlaba. That is also just heart, not respond. Okay, so this asunandi is not found in the sense of respond. In the sense of respond, only the patisunadi or pichasosi can be found. So at that time, this associate is, just past, no R prefix, roots are. Okay, leave it that one. So we could not find, for example. So only asunandi. That asunandi also, as a present tense, just in the grammar, I think. In the Jadaka. Asunandi Wiya Hodawa. Bekuno Dhamma. Or just hearing. So no usage of the dative actually. Ata ko. That's mensame. Diwada. That's a Bekuno Dhamma. Asunandi. Asunandi. Sorry. No. Asunandi not found. Saranidi Bakarana. Forbids. Gawo. Asunadi Bhagavada Bija so. Okay, only in grammar. In the original Pali cannot found. So okay, leave it. So now in this case, the point I want you to understand is so Bija Suna can be divided. Badi prefix root su and R prefix root su. But R prefix root su is only in grammar. So Badi prefix rusu also with the that is respond, the meaning respond. So at that time, the speaker responding and a person who receive that responding speech. So that person will be with the dative. Here we already provide the sentence structure and the example also. Like this, okay. Only that one we need. So now let's move to the next. So Ginasa Anubadi Yogi. Yasa Gamuno Bobasa Yoga Sa So Sambarana Sanyo Hodi. That one also the same as the respond. So here in Gina di. Gina also, you see, with the root gi. Gi is to sing, maybe just to sing. For example, now we are learning the Gijayana. So at the time I am here teaching, you are listening or learning under me. But at the end, as a sign off, stopping our class, so we both saying sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That one also a kind of the singing or speaking. So that sadhu mean showing your appreciation to me like that. And also at the end of the Dhamma talk, also the audience saying sadhu, sadhu. That means showing respect or showing appreciation of that Dhamma talk to the, a preacher, Dhamma preacher. So here also anugina means such a showing the respect or singing the respect. So for that one here, Ginasa Anupati Yogi, root gi. So na is just conjugation sign. Root gi, that is a root gi. But connection with the anup prefix or root padi prefix. Okay, anup prefix or padi prefix. So at that time, formally, a speaker, that preacher or teacher, but at that time, so of the data of that word, or maybe recipient of that word in the second sentence, that one will be with the dated with the dated. So that is yasa gamu no obasa yoga. Formally, in the formal sentence, that one is speaker agent, but late in the next sentence, that one will be with the dative. For example, so Bhikkhu Janan Dhamman Sawedi. So Bhikkhu Janan Dhamman Sawedi means Sawedi is Sunadi, causative form or Sunadi. Causative form or Sunadi. So the meaning of that one is here. Okay. Now, example sentence is here. So here, anu preface root ki and the conjugational suffix na and the ti or anu ki na ti. And also badi preface root ki and the conjugational suffix na and the ti. So badi ki na ti. That means says like a sadhu, etc. Or Buddha sadhana or something like that, or saying thank you and so the same meaning. So at that time, a person to whom you said sadhu, 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 we said sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that person will be with the dative case like that. Okay. So at that time here, two sentences. So two example sentences. The first sentence is Bhikkhu Janan Dhamman Sawiti. Bhikkhu Janan Dhamman Sawiti. The meaning of that line is, so a monk makes the people hear the Dhamma. That means preach the Dhamma to those people. So causative suffix Sawiti is Sunadi Sawiti. A monk makes people hear the Dhamma. Give a chance to hear the Dhamma. So at that time, as a sign of respect or as a sign of gratitude, so those people, so Jano, that's a bhikkhuna to that monk, Anuginadi. That's a bhikkhuna Jano Anuginadi. So the people, those people so agree or respond to that monk. So they are dated with respond to that monk by saying sadhu, sadhu, etc. Or saying something or thank you and so on. So at that time, so a person or object of that Badikinadi or Anuginadi. So we would that's a bhikkhuna Jano. Jano is subject of the Anuginadi. So Jano is subject of the Badikinadi, but their object is that's a bhikkhuna here, that's a bhikkhuna, with the dative, that is right. The man that's a bhikkhuna is in the dative because he initiated the teaching. He start teaching, and those one saying, responding, and so on can be understood. So that is why here briefly explained in these starting from the root suit and the so yawadi di sagada di wodan kamandi wojati. So your padikaha god dasa sambadana vijaniya. So yawadi di who speaks. So sagada, that one is agent or subject. So wodan kamandi wojati, the speech what is said is object. And also, your padikahago dasa, one who received that speech is sambadana vijanya, should be understood as a sambadana. Okay, so now the one who speak is agent kata, or that which is spoken, that is speech is object. And also the one who is responder, who replied, or who recipient, or that speech should be known as a recipient in the sambadana. Okay, sambadana in this case can be, understood. So that is why in the next sentence, next phrase also, the same structure can be, understood. Arojana. Arojana. So arojana is a prefix. Root is root. And the conjugational suffix is a on a and the t. So arojiti. The same structure. That one also a kind of speaking. The speech which is said is object. The one who received that speech will be, dative or sambarana. Arojiti. So the meaning of that one we can check in the dictionary. Aroji, so arojiti, to relate or to tell, to announce, to speak, to address. So speaking to each other and so on. Arojiti will be two. One is object of that speech. Now, tells. Tell something that is object. And to somebody that is sambrana, object or karma, with the accusative case. And here sambrana with the Jadoti Vibeti in this way can be understood. So that is an arojanati mean in connection with those root in the sense of telling or speaking or addressing. So here the example, arojaya mi wo bhikkhave, amandaya mi wo bhikkhave, padivedaya mi wo bhikkhave, arojami de maharaja, padivedayami de maharaja. Also these example, I will copy. So arojami wo bhikkhave, padivedayami wo bhikkhave, arojami de maharaja, amandayami de maharaja. So padivedayami de maharaja. So in the first example, this war. Okay, the meaning of that one. Firstly, we will copy from the text, from the Gajayana. Okay. So here, so arojami. So this one is maybe a or a ya. So arojiti and the arojayati. In this way here, arojami is a ya. So arojami, I declare. So now, okay. So declares something to somebody. So that here war is this war is actually dative plural of second person doma. In this way can be to you. So to Amandeami war. So Amandeami also that one is our previous root is meant. And the aya. Okay, aya and the me. So Amandeami me, I address. Okay, here I address you. Actually, I address something to you, but so should be understood here to omit it. I address you, monks, after that, speech, and so on. I declare something to you. So in this way can be understood dative. So this war also a dative plural of the dogma. So to badi wediyami. Badi wediyami inform or let you know. So that one is, badi preface. Root is weed. And then aya. And then meat. So badi we eat, change the A. Badi wediyami. Literally, I let you know. That means inform. In this way can be understood. So I inform something to you. So here also can be understood. Something to you in this way. Omitted. But so incomplete sentence can be the same way arojiami, amandiami, and the day, but here day is to you second person singular. So day is here dated singular of doma. Second person singular to you, not they. In this way can be, understood. So now all of these are, verbal speaking. So verbal speaking, verbs or speaking. So in that, so will be the subject who speaks, and also person who listen with the dative, and also maybe spiritual word, that is object with the accusative. So in this way, so pattern, sentence pattern, so can be understood. So at that time, those here word is, so who listen, the declaration of I, declaration of me, also address of me, you receive, that is a word, and so on. So in this way can be, understood. So now we can conclude today's lecture. So the first part we learn is, so root rad and root ik, but with the previous root rad to please or to propitiate. So a person who received his pleasement will be with the dative, and also above previous root ik, to seeking something from somebody. That from somebody, even though in English like a ablative sense, but in Pali with the dative. Okay, and then starting from the now Betja, Suna, Anubadi, Gina. So actually root su, gi is not found in the text. Pali can now, but root su with the Badi previous is very common. Betja so. That means respond. So respond something to somebody by saying agreement, like a sadhu or yes, Banurivasa or something like that. We agree or something at that time. So formally, for example, the Buddha in the assembly hall, the Buddha start to address his Dhamma talk. At that time, before starting his Dhamma talk, he called those monks, all monks, bhikkhu at that time. That is a kind of the warming up. So now I will start or something like that. I'm ready to start. Are you ready or something? At that time, those monks also respond to the blessing, oh Bandi. So Debeku Bhagavado, Bijasoso Bandi Di Bhagavado Bijasoso, like that. So such a response. At that time, the Buddha is receiver. So found with the dative. So that one also a kind of speaking, purpose speaking. Okay, that one will be with the who receive. So will be with the dative. So that is here, Pedi Brife Rusu also a kind of the purpose speaking response can be understood. And also Anuginadi, Badiginadi, maybe only in the grammar we find. But that one also, according to grammarians' idea, so a person who received their appreciation will be with the dated. That's a bikuno jano. That's a bikuno anuginadi. Okay, leave it. Now the last part is arojana, Babso speaking. So with the Babso speaking, subject who speaks, and also a person who is listener, and then speech, the speech taught by the subject will be with the accusative. In this way, two parts. So subject, person dative, speech accusative, and the verbs of speaking in the sentence structure can be found. So in this sentence here, examples are arojayami, amandayami, bidividayami, three kinds of verbs. In other verbs also can be understood like that. These are just a sample of those verbs of speaking. Okay, so is there any question for today's lecture? No
Sada,
more.
it seems like no questions, Sada. So we would like
Okay.
to invite Sada to conclude our class.
Okay. So let's conclude our lesson by saying sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Sayadaw.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Sada, for your class.
Thank you so much, Sayadaw.
Our pleasure.